fucking question I got is, where the fuck is the pizza at that you were supposed to bring?
I was late.
That's not what I asked. So you being late's your own fucking problem. You should have been late with a pizza, would have been better than just being late.
They sell sushi at Come and Go.
I don't understand how that was an answer to what I said, but it's all right.
What if I brought you a tray of Come and Go sushi?
I probably wouldn't have eaten gas station sushi.
It's a spicy crab roll.
Gross.
Oh.
It's not crab.
What is it?
Pollock.
It's still fish.
Yeah, crab's not fish. So we should just get into what we're talking about today, because I'm not going to explain that to you. So today we're changing it up a little bit, and we've decided that because Skylar always wants to engage in Star Wars conversation and yet not knowing anything about Star Wars, we decided that it'd probably be best if he watched Star Wars. And we decided Phantom Menace, Episode 1, would be a great starting off point, because then you can just start at the beginning of the story and work your way through.
I enjoy having the conversation when I don't know anything about it.
We don't, though. So it's better now that you've got some context behind it. So how'd you do? First off, what'd you your overall vibe of the movie? Before we get into any kind of questions that you're going to have, how'd you feel watching it?
I feel like it just kind of picked up out of nowhere. Like, there should have been like a much more in-depth backstory. It just kind of started in the middle of what I thought was something that's been going on for a while.
Did you not read the beginning? Oh, well, that's where most people make the first mistake. It wouldn't be so jarring of a experience of beginning if you would have read the words.
It was going too slow, so I sped up through that.
Right.
So
yeah. It explains how and why they are there.
It might answer some of my questions if I would have read it.
Okay. But just anyway, your overall review of the movie.
Out of 5 stars.
Out of 5 Skylars, what are we giving it?
A 2.
Ooh, a 2 Skylar out of 5.
Yeah.
Why? Before questions, just tell me why you don't like the movie. Or what you did or whatever.
The whole Jar Jar Binks species. Jar Jar Binks. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah. Him and his whole species seem like they just... Maybe I need to get farther in, just weren't that important to the story. And I have to remind myself this movie was shot a decent amount of time ago.
Right.
But still, the animation was a little cringy.
That's yet again, I mean, for its time, actually wasn't too bad.
So I think if you remove that entire part of the story, it may be a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
It's just looking at the whole movie, I think you could have definitely got away with not having them in it at all.
Right. But that's so that your main reasoning in subtracting 3 Skylars away from this is because...
It's definitely half a point
Jar Jar Binks?
Yeah, it's half a point.
I mean, hey, a lot of people don't like Jar Jar Binks. I mean, that's people's main complaint, usually across the board.
Even my closed caption was struggling to keep up with, what the fuck is he saying?
Yeah, they're doing that for him is pointless.
Yeah, so not big on him or his species, especially the fucking leader of those... Whatever.
Right.
Fucking awful. All he does is shake his head and gurgle the whole time.
Can you just refer to them as Gungans?
Yeah.
As who?
Gungans. Would you refer to them like that from now on?
No.
I knew that was going to get...
Absolutely not. Wait, say it again. What is it?
I believe it's Gungans.
Oh my God, no. Pass. It's going to be the Jar Jar Binks people.
That's fine. I mean, like I said, that's the majority of complaints from people of why they don't like even the first 3 movies entirely is because of Jar Jar Binks. I mean, if you watch any more, you'll start to see he don't go away. He does not go away.
I just don't think he was that important.
Well, he will be.
I mean, they help, I guess, they say he was supposed to like guide them through the core of the planet to
Which he didn't.
Yeah,
just
he
sat
didn't
there.
do shit. He
Right.
just freaked the fuck out the whole time.
Well, but I don't know that that's not really why they took him.
Or they felt bad
They
because they were
felt bad
about to
because he was
fuck him
going
up.
to kill him, basically. Yeah.
They should have done us all a favor.
Well, some things happen later in the story that
Liam Neeson should have been like, yeah, nah, we're
you know,
fine.
I think they should have thought twice about sending Liam Neeson's character out into the void at all. He really did a number on the Jedi before dying.
The Void.
I just mean into space, like not at the Jedi Temple. They probably should have kept him there, maybe sorting through books or
Well,
something.
then, I guess that goes into one of my questions is, are they all ambassadors? Are they all supposed to go like visit these planets and like be peacemakers or what?
That is like their overall thing, is they're the peacekeepers of the galaxy. That's what they've defined themselves as. But then in like the scenario where you find yourself at the beginning of the movie is they are coming in between a planet and an outside race trying to take control of that planet. So they've come in as like mediators of like, hey, let's not do this. Let's figure out a way that we can work this out before we go to war.
So is that what the Federation is? Are they the bad guys?
They are not technically the bad guys. In this movie, at the beginning, they are the bad guys, but the Federation is a federation of planets, the Trade Federation, which is way too much to get into right now. But it's like several species and planets and systems that are obviously governed by whatever this species is. I don't know what the fuck they're called.
Those things were hard to look at too.
They're
Holy
very
fuck.
racist. They're very racist. Especially in a movie when it should have been thought about better.
Were they supposed to be Asian?
Yeah. I don't know that, like, I mean, yes, obviously. Every single one of them has a Chinese accent.
Yeah.
Hard. And they're like in control of like the trade. I mean, it's a pretty big like spit in the face of that. Yeah. Pretty racist. But so
is that why they want Naboo? There's shit on there they want?
correct.
What do they want?
The planet and
That-
its resources.
that's
I mean,
okay.
you were down. I mean, you get to see what Naboo is like. It's like an Earth type planet, so many resources.
So Republic is good,
The
Federation
Republic,
bad.
The Galactic Republic, yes. And it's technically the New Republic. There used to be an Old Republic.
So before I forget, the big thing I'm confused on is, so Darth Vader is
I think you're way too ahead.
no,
of the
hold on.
game. I don't know that you've even seen Darth Vader in the
Darth
first movie.
Vader is Anakin's dad, and that makes Luke Anakin's brother.
Well, and see, this is the issue with your brain. And see, now you've skipped 2 movies almost entirely.
So they get to that part.
Yeah, you'll learn.
Darth is
Vader-
Anakin's dad.
You haven't seen Darth Vader yet. But to answer your question of whether or not he's Anakin's father, no. No,
like
he is
a
not.
father figure.
Right. And because I'm not going to answer it further, because it'll be apparently news to you.
Well, where's Anakin's brother at?
There isn't a brother.
Luke
That's not Anakin's brother.
Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker.
That's not.
Same
See,
last name.
You'll learn. You'll learn. That would be the
I'm
benefit.
close, right?
No.
'Kay.
Well, I mean, in the fact that, like, they're in the same family tree.
They're
But-
kissing cousins.
No.
Oh.
Way closer than that. You were kind of right, but wrong.
Oh.
So you'll find out. I don't want to spoil it for you because now it'll be fun for you. Because most people that watched episode 1 have already seen episodes 3, 4, and 5. So we already knew who Anakin and everybody was because we've watched them in the future. You know who they are. You know what the story is about. The fun part of people that have never watched it and watching it in this order is that you get to find out all of it as it happens rather than knowing it and then trying to figure out what happened before and then like swerving for tons of plot holes. You know what I mean? It's like you're driving down...
Did you say potholes?
Potholes, but they call them plot holes. Which will be the same. It'll be like driving down the road, you're watching the movie, and then all of a sudden you got to like pause it because you're like, this doesn't make any sense because I've seen number 4.
I wouldn't recommend watching a movie while you drive, but
That's probably right. Don't watch TV and drive. So yes and no.
Another big thing that really fucked with me, and I'm still not 100% sure. So Padme and Amidala.
Padme Amidala is the same person.
They're played by the same actress.
There's only one Princess Amidala. So, I mean, did you not watch the entire movie? I'm having a problem here.
So, is there really a Padme? Padme? Whatever.
Did you watch the movie entirely?
Yeah, it kept messing me up.
What messed you up?
So, the same actress, and I thought the whole time, like, Princess Amidala might be...
I'm confused at why you keep saying the same actress.
They are. They're both...
Okay.
Natalie
Let's
Portman.
break this down. I'll explain it to you, right? There's not 2 of them. There's 1.
Yeah, there's one. So which one doesn't exist?
Let me finish. There's 1. There's 1 Princess Amidala. Padme.
But not a Padme.
The person that everyone thinks is Princess Amidala is her body double. So it'd be like the equivalent because people get assassinated. So she's the help. She pretends to be the help, and the help pretends to be her.
Well, how often do they switch off?
Forever.
Well, like, how do you know
That's
in
why
the movie
Padme-
which one you're looking at?
They're played by 2 different people. So you can tell they're not played by the same person.
So they found someone who looks just like Natalie Portman to play her.
I mean, I think they found somebody that kind of looks
Or
like
is
her.
it easy
but even
because
in
she
the-
wears all
even
that
in the even in the scenario, they're not supposed to look alike because then that would give away Padme. They would just go, oh, clearly it's one or the other. The person, she was elected, no one like backstory, like she switched it so long ago that no one would know what she looks like.
Probably
It's
because she
been
wore all
her.
that stupid makeup. God, I fucking hated that.
Right. So no one knows what she really looks like. So she can have.
It's like she had 3 outfit changes in one day.
Okay.
Jesus
So-
fuck.
Yeah. So there's only one Princess Amidala,
Okay.
and she's got a body double that plays her in social scenarios.
So which is the one that goes out into the town with them?
What town? Elaborate.
The
further.
little...
That is Princess Amidala the entire time. Like when Liam Neeson turns to her and she goes, the queen isn't, or the princess isn't going to like this. And he turns and looks at her and goes, like he gives her that look of like, I know it's you, but I'll continue to play this game if that's what we're going to do.
Did he use the Force?
Yes. I would assume because he's a Jedi and that he's older than her, he knows the gig. You know what I mean? Like he gets that, like what she's doing. And yes, he's a Jedi, so he's supposed to be like, you know, like an FBI agent or a CIA agent. So like they know the answer.
I thought you just read her mind.
Could have been that too.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, that threw me off big time.
Yeah. So say just one. I feel like you deserve whatever happened right there.
Little cramp.
You have a cramp?
Yeah.
From what?
I don't know.
Poor dieting? Jesus
More Diet
Christ. I wish this had a video. Everybody would have just seen you jump up like a fucking beast.
It's seized up.
You're not doing anything.
Just exercise. Just work
No,
out.
you do. Yeah, you just worked out. Yeah,
Yeah.
discing. Jesus. Anyway, let's keep it going here because these are good, stupid questions. Like, I feel like you didn't watch it.
Does anyone know that Palpatine is like on both sides?
Obviously not. Did you watch the fucking movie? That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Did you? It's
Because
like you
at
didn't
one
watch
point he's telling Amidala that everything's fine, and then he is in all those like little hologram things with his hood up, being
Right.
all something.
it. Yeah, exactly. No, obviously. If they knew he was,
So he eventually comes out and says, "Yeah, that was me. I'm not with you guys."
I feel like you didn't watch the first one. Like, well, you were watching the first one, but you just wanted to like watch the rest of them, and you didn't
I didn't
pay
wanna
attention
watch
at all during the actual movie. Like, you're still like I said, your first question's about Darth Vader. He's not a thing yet. I know that you know of Darth Vader because he's a character of Star Wars, but like, don't worry about it. Wait till you meet him, and then you'll be like, oh, now I know who Darth Vader is, rather than try to figure it out ahead of time.
Is Obi-Wan stronger than Liam Neeson?
The biggest thing has always been who people considered the best Jedi of all time.
Yeah,
And
but
you'd have to watch more of it. Obi-Wan is the best Jedi of all time,
because Qui-Gon, right, Liam Neeson,
right?
got killed pretty quick by Darth Maul.
Right. He wasn't a big, like, fighter. He's like the dude of the Jedi. You know what I mean?
Jeff Bridges
Yeah. I mean, he's like the dude.
just hangs out.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He's got long hair. He's the hippie guy. He doesn't really fight. He's more of like the Jedi explorer.
Is that why his lightsaber's green?
No.
It's not very intimidating color.
I don't think that, I mean, originally green was just because it showed up against the dark background better. It's literally the only reason why there was a green lightsaber.
Wait, how did Obi-Wan use Liam Neeson's lightsaber?
You can use the lightsaber.
Any of them?
Anybody can.
Oh.
Even like a Sith could pick up a Jedi's lightsaber and kill him with it.
Do they burn all Jedis
What are you talking about?
when they're dead?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you elaborated because I was like, I don't understand what fucking movie you watched anymore. This must be the German version where they fucking burn Jedi, I guess. Fuck. Yes.
Why?
Because it's a way to release your spirit, same as like any age-old tradition in human history was always to burn the body or allow the body to be absorbed by the planet, broken down, you know,
Where does the midichlorian go?
out
Where?
to find
Can someone else use it?
to find a new person or being, because it doesn't have to.
Is
be.
midichlorian in your blood?
It's in everything.
So if you were to drink another Jedi's blood, you'd get their midichlorian.
Maybe. I mean, this. I feel like we're really stumbling into to like what if fan fiction rather than real questions.
Yeah, if a chick was blowing a Jedi and she swallows that shit,
She can have a baby Jedi if she gets pregnant.
but
by
she won't
one.
become one.
I don't think that's how it works. I've never. In all of the reading, and all of the reading in cartoons, that has never come up.
They don't have COVID
Yeah.
anymore.
So, you know. Little sidebar though, on your little Jar Jar Binks thing, the guy that played Jar Jar Binks in the first 3 movies just had a cameo in Mandalorian. He played the Jedi that saves Grogu from the temple in the flashback in the newest one. So he kind of redeems himself in the like Star Wars community pretty hard here this last week. So,
Who the fuck is the Phantom?
what do you mean in regards to the Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
The Phantom Menace is Darth Sidious,
Who's that?
Palpatine.
Oh.
That's his Sith name.
Darth
Technically.
what?
Darth Sidious.
Oh my god.
You'd have to and see the issue with you, right? Because you're dullard, is you don't even know what the word Sidious means. If you knew what the word
Like the movie Insidious.
no, but kind of.
Yeah. It's bad.
It's like From the Shadows. Like you like puppet master shit. Like you're not the one that just goes out and does stuff. You do stuff behind the curtain.
Who's there looking through the window?
Right. So his name was Darth Sidious because that's the game that he played.
What?
He played both sides. That's how he earned himself the name from his mentor.
How'd Darth Maul get his name? Well, Maul, that's like bad, right? So dark, bad, dark.
Right. He had another name, and you're given your name by your master.
So Liam Neeson named Obi-Wan?
No, because Jedi don't do that. Sith do. Yeah.
Explain Sith to him.
Sith and Jedi actually were the same thing originally. Originally, it was just Jedi, Force users. And then they formed a group and they were like, hey, we should probably just be good guys. And some of them were like, yeah, but that's not how I like to do
Do you want to know who's another bad character in the movie?
Definition of bad depends, but go for it. Come on.
The little anteater butterfly thing that owns Anakin.
Yeah. Hang on, I got his... I can never fucking remember his stupid-ass name.
And Sebulba was a pretty shit thing.
Sebulba. Yeah, the Doug. Watto is who owns Anakin. Watto.
And his mother.
And his mother, yes. What about it? You don't like him?
Nah, it's shit.
Well, I mean, he's a bad character, right? He's, he
they should have
owned-
picked someone more subtle.
What do you mean subtle?
Just like overall, like, yeah, I own
I mean,
these
I feel
people.
like you gotta like the crazy thing is that a lot of these characters got created to make fun of a particular type of person, right? So because he was a bad guy and you weren't supposed to like him, he's like the same character that you see in like any like New York junkyard. Like if that's, you know what I mean? Like he's some dirty old guy from fucking Jersey that's trying to swindle you at all times.
Late 80s, early 90s New York cab driver.
Right. Exactly. Like that's the character he's supposed to be.
Oh, before I forget, at the end of the movie, when Anakin gets his new haircut, why does it look just like Obi-Wan's? Why do they have the same haircut?
It's a semi-traditional haircut for humans that are Jedi. Like in the Padawan stage.
Was that a good observation?
Yeah, the further you get, and you'd have to really get into like the weeds a little bit, is they actually have that like braid and it gets cut off when you become a master. So,
My God.
well, I like you do all of these like weird looks. You're literally in something called the Order of the Arrow. So fuck you.
Yeah, but we didn't talk, so.
Well, I think there's probably a reason you're too busy blowing each other. Anyway,
We
continue.
can't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Continue your line of dumb questions. What else are you having an issue with? Because I feel like none of that was really like, you don't have any good questions.
Those were good questions.
I don't know.
You still convinced I didn't watch the movie?
It doesn't. I feel like I would have had bigger questions after just watching the first one. Because my biggest bitch is that, I mean, like, number one, the movie basically sucks. When you consider they already made 3 fucking movies.
All I was thinking the whole time was Anakin is going to fuck Natalie Portman.
You thought that?
That's what I've heard. That little boy gets to fuck Natalie Portman.
Thanks. Getting a little too far away.
I was getting relaxed.
Yeah, I know. Losing energy as we speak. So, right. That's what I mean is like, I feel like what has happened here is you got too caught up in things that are going to happen that haven't yet because you've heard semi stories about Star Wars. You're too worried. I wanted you to watch the movie.
I did watch the movie.
Right. But all your questions have been mainly concerning what happens in the future.
Wait, so then when does C-3PO get his armor?
Right. See, this is another question that will be answered in the next movie. Like it's
So what,
fucking mind blowing of how many questions you have.
They just
in
leave him
regards
behind?
of the Clone Wars.
They just leave him behind to help Anakin's mom. When do they come back for
It's
him?
not necessarily that they leave him behind.
He's payment.
He does not own C-3PO.
Who does?
Watto does.
Oh.
Watto owns everything that they have because he owns them. Anakin is building robots for Watto to sell. That's what he does. He built that entire pod racer. He's built all kinds of things. That's part of the gig.
Where did R2-D2 come from?
Okay. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. He's an android that came from Naboo with Princess Amidala. I mean, did you not watch the movie? This is what I mean. Is I am genuinely concerned that you did not watch the movie at all. I don't get it. I mean, were you paying attention?
Yeah.
Okay, well then you should know where he came from.
What did you like about the movie?
Yeah, well, that's what was my first question, but he didn't make it through that one. I asked you your original, like your review. Tell me what you liked
I
about
gave it 2 stars.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't ever told me what you liked about it. Did you like anything about the movie?
Don't say because Natalie Portman's hot.
Yeah, because it's so dumb, and she's not really that attractive in this.
She's middle of the road.
She looks 15. So, I mean,
I was 5 when it came out, so it's fair.
you watched it now.
I bet she wasn't 15 in that movie.
That's not what I said.
She was legal.
Anyway, what'd you like about it?
The pod racing was kind of fun.
Okay, cool. That's everybody's favorite part.
It is?
It's the best part of the movie.
Did you ever play the N64 Pod Racer game?
No.
It was a great game.
No.
It was a great racing game. Yep. I actually told Mike before we started a cool little fact that the sound that was used for the pod racers, like as they're going, like that whoop, 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 whoop sound, is a car on wet pavement slowing down. That's the sound that they used for the pod racers.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty cool fucking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, because you would think that a lot of those sounds, they're just made up out of thin air. And they're not. Most sounds that are recorded for like the sound effects aren't what you would think. Like you would think like, okay, well, someone in the shower, for instance, a shower scene, the sound that you're hearing of someone in the shower is not someone in the shower. That's not what they recorded. They probably recorded water dripping out of something onto an aluminum pan. Because the sound that you pick up from a shower isn't the same sound that you'll hear.
Why does Darth Maul's lightsaber come out of 2 ends?
Because he built it that way.
Is it more effective? Can he take them apart?
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
He killed a Jedi pretty fucking easy because he had a double-ended lightsaber. And then, I think, is it in this movie where it gets cut in half?
He does.
No, the lightsaber in the battle.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it has to. I think it. Yeah, in the battle of when he's battling Obi-Wan right before he gets cut in half, Obi-Wan cuts it through the middle, and he still retains use of the one side that he has in his hand.
How long do they last?
A lightsaber?
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
Why?
Because it has a kyber crystal in it. I knew that was going to get you. You love the words kyber crystal.
You have a kyber crystal.
I wish I had a kyber crystal.
It's in your face.
I wish. Anyway, Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, it's a kyber crystal. So.
Do all the Sith have red kyber crystals?
Yes.
There's not like a black one?
There is a black one, but it's not a Sith or Jedi weapon. It's called the dark saber.
When does the Wookiee come in?
Next movie.
I think that's going to be a pretty annoying character also.
It's not. It's actually, Chewie is way more annoying in the second set of 3 movies than he is in the first. He's younger in the first. He's not with Han Solo in the first. He's on his original planet. He's with Yoda. You'll see in the next movie.
Is the next one better than this one?
Yep.
See, I disagree. The next movie is my least favorite.
Some people feel that way.
So between these first two, people go back and forth on which one sucks the most?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, that's just... And the reason is because there's such a time jump. In the first 3 movies, the time jump between the first 2 is insane.
So I'm going to struggle to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Put it this way, I think you will like the next movie better.
Right.
I don't want to give you my reason for why I don't like the second movie.
Are there different Jedis in the next one?
There's all kinds of Jedis, and every single one of them, that's what it's about.
Do they all have different colored lightsabers?
Yes and no. In the movies, the only person that has a lightsaber that's a different color, other than, like, of all the other Jedi, there's actually 2, and you don't really see the other one, but is Mace Windu. Mace Windu has a purple lightsaber. And it was the only reason was because Samuel L. Jackson said he was not having a blue or green lightsaber. That he wanted to pick his own color. So like a lot of like the Star Wars like lore, you know what I mean, or like storyline is literally all based off of someone in wardrobe decided.
Can you shove 2 kyber crystals down one hole?
Don't know. They're not real. Never tried to make a lightsaber. I'm going to assume maybe.
How big are they?
Hard to say.
Like the size of an agate?
Agates can be all sizes. I would assume kyber crystals can be many of sizes.
Do they have to be grinded down into a specific shape to fit in the hole?
They usually, when they present themselves to the Jedi, have already split away from the main crystal, and they're like they like float towards you.
Which one's harder, a kyber crystal or a diamond?
It's in a different. It's not.
There's diamonds, right?
I've never heard anybody talk about fucking diamonds in Star Wars. No, there's no diamonds.
So you're convinced that
it's in a galaxy far, far away, so everything's kind of different. They seem to use the same screws, though. In a couple of the things, there's Phillips head screwdrivers, like screw heads. So you can see them and you go, oh, well, that's clearly the only thing that they use in that universe that transcends.
Is there only one spot you can get kyber crystals?
No. But there is or was in your scenario right now, because you're watching the first one, there is a planet called Ilium in which most Jedi get their kyber crystals.
Is it like a big deal? They have like a party and shit?
Like they take the younglings there, and it's like a summer camp, except it's a cold planet, and they go and they're like, hey, you have to go through here, and you'll find your kyber crystal.
What age do they go?
I don't know.
Like puberty?
Usually if they're really young, and I would assume around the age of like 5 to like...
They get lightsabers at 5?
Yep.
Seems pretty
They actually don't get
responsible.
lightsabers. They get a kyber crystal. They have to build their own lightsaber.
That's stupid.
Why is it... That's stupid.
Why do you have to build your own?
Because then you'd have to be smart enough to know how to build a lightsaber to use one.
They should just have Woody and grab off the
You know,
wall.
Just like your train of thought. You know, everybody should have an AR-15. Exactly, right? You give them to everybody. If you
Go
knew
to the store and
right,
you buy one.
Right. If you learn about them, then you can have one. Not everybody needs one. That's like the lightsaber.
Wait,
if you don't know how to build one, you don't get one.
Can a non-Jedi use a lightsaber?
Anybody can use a lightsaber. You just have to turn it on.
Is it just a button?
Yes. Now, unless that Jedi specifically made one with either a trick switch or like a thumbprint, which I've never heard of, but we'll go down your rabbit hole. They'd have to make it specifically not be able to function
for your phone.
Right. They don't have that. Seems like they would, right? Because technology would be pretty far. They don't have that.
I should look into that.
They don't even have cell phones.
Yeah, well, they use that
That's the crazy part.
little hologram thing.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Nope. So that should give you the first hint. Not here. Anyway, so kyber crystals,
You think are harder than diamonds?
I would assume, are harder than diamonds because they contain the Force. I knew that was going to get you too. I could see your face as I'm talking.
That was just a joke, right?
No. I mean, what do you mean? That's just a joke.
God.
That's why they emit energy, you fucking retard.
Oh, Jesus.
Why else would they emit energy?
I don't know. Because they have the Force.
Everything technically has the Force if you weren't paying attention to the movie.
Well, they didn't announce, like, hey, I'm using the Force right now, so I didn't know when they were using it.
They kind of do.
Hey, watch out.
When
Force is
Liam
coming.
Neeson is explaining what midichlorians and the Force is, he explains it pretty well because he's explaining it to a fucking 10-year-old.
So, real quick, I always heard that was a big, I guess, downfall for this movie is the use of midichlorians and that being brought in.
Midichlorians was created for this movie. So in timeline of people that watched them as they came out, the Force was originally just like a power that like a special person could connect to. In the first, when they did episode 1, George Lucas decided, well, we're going to make up midichlorians. And that midichlorians, depending on the amount of them in said person, being, or object, makes that person, being, or object more powerful. So that's why when he tests it and he goes, oh my God, he's got like 20,000 midichlorian. At that point, you don't even understand what that number could even, like what the scale is, right? You just assume that, I guess that's a lot because they seem surprised. But so they just made it up. Made up midichlorians.
That's like when It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when they test Charlie's stress units.
You want to know you want to know what I feel like you will find funny too? Anakin Skywalker, which I'm surprised you haven't asked who his dad was.
I did ask who his dad was.
No, you didn't.
I asked if Darth Vader was his dad.
Oh, that's right. That stupid question. Yes. Right, because Darth Vader doesn't exist yet, so obviously no.
Well, they don't know who his dad is.
The rumor in the fan fiction, and absolutely at no point in any story or anything does Anakin Skywalker ever have a father.
He's
ever.
Jesus.
That's the rumor is that kind of like the fan fiction, if you will, that makes the most plausible sense in the storyline of him being the chosen one is that he was created by the Force. So like the Force willed a being of mass power.
Force got horny.
Yeah.
The Force fucked Anakin's mom.
Right. Now, if you watch a lot of like the other stuff, there's several other stories that are plausible too.
What if Anakin is just pure midichlorian and it just compounded inside of his mom?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, I
Is that
simplified
the Force basically created him, which would be the same thing as that there were so much midichlorians that gathered together. You know, maybe she walked through a cloud of midichlorians. I don't know. You know what I mean? In my personal opinion, I feel like the first way that Palpatine acts with him, like when he pats him on the shoulder and the way that he walks away, it makes you almost feel like he already knew about Anakin before meeting him that very first time. You know what I mean? No, you look lost. Like when the movie's done, and then he's like, "I've heard you've got real potential," and kind of like pats him on the shoulder and like, "We're gonna keep an eye on you,"
It burned his hand.
and kind of like smiled a little bit, had this like Sidious, if you will,
Like you and I are gonna tango someday.
like he already knew about Anakin to begin with. Which, if you
So
kind
he's
of follow
pissed that
the
he didn't
Sith-
get to him first.
If you follow the Sith storyline, Darth Sidious was the most interested in midichlorians and using the Force. It's what he wanted the most. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if he knew about Anakin before even the Jedi did.
Oh, why didn't he go snatch him up?
He needed a few things to happen, which you'll see.
Is Palpatine the strongest one?
If you watch it all, I mean, I could, spoil
What
it.
color is Palpatine's lightsaber?
Red, because he's a Sith.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
Right. Yep.
What do you think your midichlorian count would be?
I don't know. Probably low because I'm not
7?
a Jedi. Yeah. Higher than yours, that's for fucking
Hell
damn
no.
sure. Yeah, hell yes.
I'm Anakin Skylar.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. He wears a helmet. Right.
Was that clever?
It wasn't,
I give you that.
See?
I guess.
You're jealous.
I'm so jealous. Yeah. Good God. No. Anakin doesn't have a father. Supposedly it's the Force was just created a baby. So I think either way, not good. I always thought either that Palpatine knew about him or that Palpatine was his father.
Where did Anakin and his mom come from?
Tatooine.
Have we seen that yet?
Slaves. Yeah. You were there the entire movie.
That's where they pod race.
That's where he's from. Tatooine. That's the planet they're on. It's actually ruled by, at the time, you get to see him, the Hutts, and you get to see Jabba for the very first time in this one. And his wife behind him.
They run the planet?
They run the system. Several systems, actually.
Solar systems?
Correct.
Oh.
Jabba, that family's considered like mafia.
Yeah, they're basically the mafia of the
Monsters, yeah.
of the entire universe. And if something bad happens, you can probably trace it back to one.
Ooh,
of the
that
Hutts.
reminds me. That two-headed thing that was announcing the race, fucking hated that thing too.
Yeah.
Good fucking lord.
Why? Because one didn't speak English?
It looked like shit.
A lot of the aliens do. You're racist. I think that's your problem.
Yeah, I don't want to be around aliens.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so
What color do you think your kyber crystal would be?
I don't know. I feel like I would choose like white. I like the white.
I thought you said they'd choose you.
Okay. The Kyber crystal does.
Yeah.
Right. And beforehand,
Oh, so they're all clear and they change
it
color when
just
you
do-
grab them.
See, that's the thing is the further the universe goes, the more details are added, which were never before. So in the beginning, I'm almost positive, like in the first 3 movies, like technically episode 4, 5, and 6, when there's already all of this storyline established, you basically just put the fucking crystal in there and whatever color it comes out is the fucking color. And it appeared that there were only 2 colors, green or blue. That's all it ever was. And then the further down the line, Samuel L. Jackson wanted it to be purple. So then once that happened, you kind of went, okay, well, how much sense does that fucking make? He gets to choose purple. So you have to make up a storyline for purple.
So wait,
right?
If Samuel L. Jackson decided to become bad, would his lightsaber turn red?
The lore is that the reason why it is purple, and it's not the reason why it's purple, is because the reason why it's purple is because Samuel L. Jackson decided he wanted a fucking purple lightsaber. That's it. It's the end of the story. They had to make up a story. The made-up story is that Mace Windu rides such a fine line, it was originally blue, but that he rides such a fine line between good and bad, like that he's on the good side, but he's literally as like close to the line of the dark side that you can get as a Jedi, which has turned his crystal purple, right? Because that's blue and red make purple. Blue was his original lightsaber
So he's a no
color.
bullshit
The dark
kind of
side,
guy.
it turns red. He got so close to the dark side and in the teachings of the dark side that even his
Oh, so
Kyber,
I'm correct then.
even his Kyber crystal has turned purple.
So if he were to go all the way, it would keep on turning to red.
I would imagine so.
God, I'm fucking onto it.
Maybe it would stay purple.
Maybe I should write some fan fiction.
It sounds like you did already.
Would you read it?
No.
Really?
No.
Something.
Yeah.
There weren't very many like hot chicks in the movie.
I don't think that was part of the story.
Well, you gotta throw in a little sex appeal.
They did, right? With Padme, apparently.
Oh, that confused me more than turned me on. So
Oh. Yeah, but I feel like confusion turns you on. Because you're dumb.
This movie was kids. Like,
so it gets sexy. It gets sexier.
10 and under.
You have to think about that it's semi of the same of Harry Potter in the sense that when they start the story, it's a child and they're trying to then get children to watch. So they can't really make it too intense. That's why like Liam Neeson dies, or Qui-Gon Jinn is supposed to be one of the most badass fucking Jedi in the entire console. Like of all of the people, like where he stands before him and he pleads his case, he's supposed to be one of the best members of that entire group. He got stabbed through the stomach once
And died immediately.
and almost died immediately because it's a kid's story. They can't have like him get his fucking arm cut off or his head cut off, which should have fucking happened because Darth Maul ain't just stabbing you through the fucking chest. If you watch any of the animated story or anything like that, it's not a character in which like that's how you get killed by him.
Is there more Darth Mauls
Yes.
like that look like him?
Oh, the species?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see him?
No. The only person that you see ever in the movie from that planet, in the movies in general, is Darth Maul. Now, if you watch the Clone Wars and Rebels, you'll meet everyone else. He comes from a planet, and there's all kinds of them. And they're split into clans.
So they're not all red. Some are like blue.
They have
and
all
green.
different kinds of color tones.
Damn. Still not gonna watch
The
it.
horns are all different. The markings on their face are tattoos. They're not like, they're warrior tattoos. You earn those tattoos. That's how, like, the markings aren't explained, but that's what they are.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I mean, when you watch, you probably won't, but if you ever did watch the Clone Wars, the animated series, and then the animated series of Rebels, you get so much information that fills. That's literally what the Clone Wars was for, because technically, right now, you should be watching the Clone Wars if you wanted to go in timeline. Before you even watch episode 2, you would literally have to watch all 7 fucking seasons of the Clone Wars animated series to almost fill in the gap between episode 1 and episode 2.
Is there a book of episode 1?
There's books of all kinds.
Is the book better than the movie?
The books are always better than the movie because you get more detail. You don't have to
Do you
cram
own
it.
the book?
No, I don't own any books really.
ebook?
I mean, I don't own the ebook, no. But yeah. I personally think that you'll like the next movie more. I know what your style of movie is, and you're going to like the next one more because it's more adult. He's a teenager now.
Are there any fucked up lightsaber shapes?
They all have their
Like a
own
zigzag?
individual shape. Count Dooku actually has, in my opinion, the coolest lightsaber.
Why?
Because it has almost this like weird kind of curve to it like a sword would.
Like a hook?
Yeah, well, kind of. Kind of.
Oh. They should make nunchuck lightsabers.
You can make any kind of lightsaber. The more and more you get into it, there's all the lightsabers are different because it's built by the thing. The Wookiee, there's a Wookiee Jedi. He makes his out of wood. I'm just saying they make them out of all different kinds of stuff, all kinds of different materials. You can make it out of anything that you want. You're putting it together. It's supposed to be for you.
What if you fuck it up
It explodes.
and then you're done?
Depends.
You get kicked out of camp?
Sometimes. Depends. Every case is different.
I think mine would be fine. I just have a little short in it and it wouldn't turn on all the time.
Yeah. You'd watch a YouTube video that you only paid half attention to. Yeah.
He'd be like trying to...
It'd be one of those things like it works better if it's being shaken the entire time because then the connection is constantly being made.
It's like a lighter that's almost out and you got to turn it upside
like
down.
a strobe version. Like not even you know when it's going to turn on or off.
Right.
Right. That's not good.
It's like trying to light a cigarette and you're just sitting there like...
Yeah.
I'd pay someone to make mine for me.
Yeah. Mike would definitely not make his own lightsaber.
He'd take one look at it, throw his hands up like, I guess I'm just bad at it.
Fuck.
You think somebody could do that?
What?
Just be like, hey man, do you want to build my lightsaber for me?
I imagine like yet again you'd have to like it's all fan fiction and lore, but yeah, I mean General Grievous, who you haven't met yet, has all kinds of lightsabers.
My
Really?
He's
favorite Star Wars
the worst part is
Why does he have so many?
okay, listen. I absolutely can't stand the live action version of General Grievous. That's the worst part.
Why are you getting so worked up about it?
Because it pisses me the fuck off. Because in the animated like series, he's so much better of a character.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the character. I'm not talking about like what he looks like visually on the screen.
Is there like blood and shit in this cartoon or is it shit?
I mean, I don't think there's like blood in like how you're thinking there is. Like people get hurt and
Yeah,
they
I want,
might
like,
have
graphic.
like a little, like they might have like a, blood coming out of the corner of their mouth or some shit like that. It looked like they're visibly hurt. But I don't think you ever actually see any like real blood and death because it's a cartoon. So it had to be kind of marketed towards children even though it was on late night. Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I might have watched it if it was graphic.
That's weird coming from the person that thought the best movie that he would ever see was The Whale.
And you really like Puss in Boots.
Yeah. I mean, I just genuinely don't understand you in general.
It wasn't a bad movie.
Everything you say is so contradictory to everything else that you said beforehand.
I'm ever evolving.
I don't think that's what it's called. I'm surprised you didn't say anything about like the actual just like acting and dialogue in the movie because it's really tough.
I guess I didn't like
It
notice.
almost seemed like everyone's first time.
I didn't
shooting
really
a movie.
notice any like apparent terrible acting in it. Like,
That's
geez.
odd.
Who would you say did a bad job?
I said the entire thing.
Everybody?
I only give the young actors. I mean, the crazy thing is the best acting that's in the entire movie is done by the youngest character. The youngest fucking character gives the best acting job. And everybody else there is a seasoned fucking actor or actress that's been in movies for a while. And they're all trash in this fucking movie. They're all trash. Mace Windu does the best job. He has like the least amount of speaking roles.
Is Yoda a puppet?
Not in this one. CGI.
He was in the original.
Yes.
Huh.
I think they did do. I can't remember what they did for motion capture too.
For the newer ones, they've made him a puppet again.
Yeah.
The ones they just made. But this, CGI. Which was enough.
And in the new one, it's probably both. They use the puppet to get the movements, and then they put the CGI over top of it to make it look good. Yeah. But that's most of the biggest bitch. And the reason why the CGI isn't as good. Because, I mean, it's hard to explain why the computer graphics weren't better than the clay models that were originally used, and like all the models that were used in the first 3 movies that you haven't seen yet, but that everybody else had in the process. It's like we had seen already they made better costumes for the aliens. Like the fake alien rubber heads were better than the fucking CGI that they did. So you're like, why would you even do that? Doesn't fucking make any sense. You'll see. You'll see. Yeah, what else you got?
That was it.
So no real like hard storyline questions other than like Anakin's father. You know, nothing else. Padmes. There's 2 Padmes in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to watch the next
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, I'll sit down and watch the next one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
can do
probably
that.
not going to be like super impressed.
I think you'll be more impressed than the feeling that you probably got after watching this one.
I mean, God help me if it's just a lot of dialogue, because I'm probably going to hop on my phone and watch TikTok if that starts happening.
Well, I mean, Star Wars tends to be dialogue heavy, considering there's a lot of information that you need to find out.
Yeah, I need like the bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a quick shot, like, in case you missed this is what they were talking about.
Well, you watch it, and then I'll do that for you.
Superhero movie
Ooh.
to watch and discuss.
Like, we each pick one?
No, both of you decide.
How about we just wait, because this next month Ant-Man Quantumania will be on Disney Plus.
My parents said it sucked.
Okay, but we don't need to take the advice of 60-year-olds on whether or not a Marvel movie was good.
They're all pretty bad, so.
Sure.
This actually would be good to do Marvel because Skylar hates all Marvel movies, all of them.
Right. And
Cory, on the other hand,
I enjoy them.
and enjoys all of them.
But
And
they're not better than DC movies.
That's weird to say. 'Cause
Why?
they are. So this would be great for another podcast. We can discuss that. The validity of the statement that the DC cinematic universe is somehow better than Marvel, even though theirs doesn't exist. So I'm curious at the argument for it, but that's what we'll do.